Well, how about that opening? Let's do this, shall we? Good afternoon, Habitat family, and welcome to Building Hope Live. Today marks our 14th year of Building Hope. Way back then, this event started with about 300 guests at the Lowe's, and it grew over the years into 1,000 plus at the convention center. And when COVID unfolded, we adapted to virtual, and the Habitat family showed up. Now, our Building Hope Live is part of our first ever Home Works Week. And our intention with Home Works Week is to grow our audience beyond today's 45 minutes and drive home, no pun intended, that home works. Home is where we start our day. All of us start our day. It is foundational for our health, generational wealth, education outcomes, employment, safety, and on and on and on. Home works to alleviate so many of the challenges we face today. So here's how the next 40 minutes will flow. New this year, we are dedicating the entire broadcast to Habitat because we have such incredible momentum to share. We have 3 fabulous then, now, next Habitat stories. Added bonus of this live format, your dollars go straight to Habitat programs. We're not paying for plated chicken salads, and you're not paying for parking. Our promise, you will leave hopeful and hope-filled, and with the conviction that you belong here and that you are essential to building a Philadelphia where everyone has a decent place to live. So to deliver on that promise of hope, I'm taking a page straight out of Coach Ted Lasso's playbook. We believe in hope. We're propelled by hope. We're not talking, not wishful thinking, just wishing for it. No. We like the way the Hope Research Center at the University of Oklahoma defines it. Hope is the belief that the future can be brighter than today and that we have something to do with it. At Habitat, hope is a noun. We know the future is brighter because we've had a hand in 1,000 homes built and repaired over the last 37 years. And we can feel the hope of the next 11 families who will achieve their hope of becoming homeowners this spring. At Habitat, hope is also a verb. Hope invites us to think bigger and to be in action. Hope does not happen alone. It does not happen in isolation. Hope is something we do together, shoulder to shoulder with neighbors and homeowners and volunteers. I think it is important to acknowledge that what makes our hope so audacious is that it is grounded in today's challenging reality. I think we can absolutely all agree we're at a really critical crossroads in Philadelphia. And on the hard days, we have to remind ourselves to not lose sight of the good. We could throw our hands up in defeat, or we put our hands on each other's backs, we feel the pain, and then we get back to what we know works. Home. That's hope. It is also hard not to feel hope when we take the long view. Then, Jaylyn's mom bought their Habitat home when she was 7 years old. They left behind the high rent and the asthma from the mold and the many trips to the ER because her asthma was so bad. Jaylyn, she chose pink for her bedroom and princesses. Everything princess. She even named herself the Princess of Habitat. She was thrilled to stop using her nebulizer. She started to excel in school. Her mom finally had the chance to catch her own breath, and with that confidence started a new job as a program director supporting people experiencing homelessness. Now, the Princess of Habitat, Jaylyn, is wrapping up 9th grade, where she has been a first honors roll student all year. She joined the softball team and plays outfield. She shared with me she's very good at it. And she's expanded her footprint in their home from her pink bedroom to the middle room where she does her homework and mom can work from home. Next, Jaylin shared that college, that's her next goal, and she has her sights set on a historical Black college or university. Home works to open doors to opportunity. Jaylin gives us hope. Each family gives us hope. You showing up today gives us hope. And here's another good dose. This Building Hope community has raised nearly $5 million. $5 million over the last 13 years. And that has helped open front doors for literally hundreds of Habitat homeowners. That is remarkable. Your generosity builds hope. So to make home work alongside more families, buckle up, folks. We've got some of our own work to do. The give button is on. You can give at any time. Today's goal of $475,000 is absolutely within reach. Because of the generosity of many corporate partners and donors, we start the broadcast with $369,908 exact dollars committed, leaving just $105,000 to reach our goal. Just $105,000. To encourage your giving, a wonderful donor has pledged to match dollar for dollar each gift made right now, like right now, each gift dollar for dollar up to $20,000. Your 100 becomes 200 and paints a child's bedroom. Your 250 becomes 500, installs an energy efficient window. Your 500 becomes 1,000 and opens a new front door. Now is the time. Let's unlock the match. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What we do today, what we build now, will shape the affordable housing landscape in Philadelphia a generation from now. We have an audacious goal because we know home works, so therefore only audacious goals will do. I want to thank our incredible sponsors for their investment. The Farber Family Foundation and Berkshire Hathaway Energy Cares Foundation, thank you. And all of today's sponsors. Habitat's impact is not possible without you. Home works, one home at a time, one family at a time. Families like Rhonda and Roberto's, who purchased their home in 2013. Now, 10 years later, here's an update on what their home has meant to their family.
I'm Rhonda Moore in Bonfante, and we are in my Habitat home in Point Breeze in South Philadelphia. I went to Italy with Bill T. Jones Dance Company in October of 1983. You know, you have these visions of your planned lives, and then everything just like, it's not really your plan. We don't really pull the strings. I met Roberto in the first 6 months that I was there. We see eye to eye. We have a lot of things in common, and a lot of things not in common.
My name is Roberto Bonfante. Mio nome è Roberto Bonfante. Sono arrivato qua perché ho sposato un'americana.
We got married and had 3 children. My oldest is a girl, Zoe, Jacob, and Aaron. 2007 was the final decision. Okay, let's transfer over here and have some lifestyle in America. When we moved here, with barriers like language, I would say we're more precarious here in that way of like, I make much less money than when we were making when we were in Europe. So I lived with my sister for almost 5 years, when we first came here.
Moving from Italy to the United States was a huge transition for our family, and luckily enough, we were able to live with my aunt for a number of years when we first got to Philadelphia, but it was really important for us to have our own space, and that really wasn't possible until we found Habitat.
I went online and looked at the homeownership program. The only way you could find out more about it and get an application was to go to one of the info sessions. So we applied for the program and then heard afterwards that we were offered a property in Point Breeze. I remember when it was just a frame. And that was, a new experience for me, too, the whole building thing. Doing all the sweat equity hours, too. We got it done really quickly because it was always two of us. I remember being upstairs in the bedrooms, and after they had put the floors in, just this really fine dust everywhere. And so, there was nothing in the room but going from, the corner to the corner and, wet mopping on all fours, the floors, and just looking at the space, looking at it, every corner, looking at it.
È molto interessante, molto una cosa che in Italia non esiste, perlomeno. Ma mi piaceva l'idea, mi piaceva che era una cosa sociale, mi piaceva... È una cosa interessante da provare, sperimentare.
My husband had to work, and he couldn't get off for the closing, yes, but not for the dedication. It was wonderful. The Philadelphia Eagles were partners with Habitat that year, and so they actually put up one of my drywalls, and then I got carried over the threshold. That was...
So my husband can't be here, and I'm very sorry about that. But because he's not here, I can do what I want to do. So I've always dreamed of being brought across the threshold, and it's not often that I have strapping individuals.
There's a reason for us being here. It's kind of like the way I stay connected with my kids, to know that they have it, and also that there's a central meeting place that anyone can go to. On some level, it probably gave them the courage to know that if things don't work out, there's always a place to be.
My parents always encouraged my brothers and I to really take big risks and embrace change in our lives. And part of the reason we were able to do that is having my parents' house as a safety net.
If you're moving towards home ownership and you want a gift that really is the gift of a lifetime, for instance, a 30-year mortgage at 0% interest, you might be interested in the Habitat program, because that is one of the perks that comes with you getting an opportunity to build your house, to work on other houses, and to be in community with people.
Well, Bo Allen certainly made that look really easy. Rhonda and Roberto, I remember your dedication like it was yesterday. And thank you for sharing your Habitat story and your beautiful home. By the way, now, Zoe is pursuing her master's degree in London. Aaron works at Philadelphia Outward Bound, and Jacob is pursuing his passion in the hospitality industry. Zoe said it best. Her confidence to pursue her dreams is because of the safety net of their family's home. Home works to pursue dreams. All right, Habitat family, y'all, we are on the move with the giving. We're at $386,156 building bucks raised, and there are still more match dollars out there. Remember, your gift right now, your gift today is doubled, and every dollar is needed. Thank you. Around the same time that Rhonda and Roberto bought their home, the Habitat Critical Home Repair Program was just getting started. Back then, Habitat was repairing a handful of homes each year. Now, we stabilize 100 homes per year. And next, that impact will grow to 200 homes annually by 2026. We know that home works. And we also know that we are not going to build our way out of this, nor are we going to do this alone. So that's why we're tackling the challenge of affordable housing with a holistic approach that includes scaling the sticks and bricks of homes built and repaired, leveraging public-private partnerships and creative collaborations like the one we have with Children's Hospital, and advocating for smarter policy solutions. Just this week, Monday, we led a HomeWorks coalition in Harrisburg, comprised of Habitat colleagues and homeowners who bravely shared their lived experience with elected officials. The ask was for continued funding for the statewide Whole Home Repairs Program. A portion of these dollars support repairs in the city of Philadelphia. Upstream solutions and coalition building gives us hope. Each Habitat home works to build health. There's Anthony, a veteran who owns his home in West Philadelphia. His hope, when his home was repaired by Habitat in 2018, was to create an opportunity for other veterans in recovery to live there as a halfway house. Now, all of the bedrooms in Anthony's healthy home are occupied by fellow veterans. Anthony works at the VA in Wilmington, Delaware, providing mental health counseling. Home works for Anthony. Anthony gives us hope. None of this home's working or hope building stuff, happens without your support. Whether you swing a hammer on site, shop the Restore. By the way, Tuesday to Saturday, it's open. Call your elected officials. Make a donation today, right now. Or simply tell a friend what you've heard about Habitat. You are part of the Habitat movement, a movement that started in 1985. And since then, volunteers have been at the core of who we are as Habitat. Volunteers are the engine that move Habitat forward. So back in 1989, Al and Leslie Boris dated while volunteering for Habitat Philadelphia. Fast forward to now. They're married 30 plus years, have raised 2 beautiful children who have also volunteered at Habitat, and consistently said yes when we've asked for help. In addition to the countless hours spent volunteering and their generosity that has helped build homes on Style Street, Hope Village, Diamond Park, Oxford Green, Coltrane Commons, Al has served on Habitat's board of directors at various times over the last 3 decades. Presented each year to someone who goes above and beyond as a partner with Habitat Philadelphia, it is my honor to introduce our 2023 Patrick Monahan Good Neighbor Award winner, Al Boris.
What they do is so important, and the effectiveness of the organization in Philadelphia is so wonderful that any way I can help to further the mission or get more people involved, I want to do that.
He has lived and breathed Habitat in his own modest way and in his own devoted way for more than 30 years.
There were 12 of us growing up in the house I grew up in. My grandparents had 1 bedroom, my parents had 1 bedroom, my 4 sisters shared 2 twin beds, and me and my 3 brothers, we shared 1 king-size bed. So I think it's important that everybody have this kind of place to go and feel safe and come back and recharge our batteries and so forth. And Habitat was a natural because I knew that was their mission.
Habitat was always a part of Al since I met him. The first day that we met, we both signed up for a Habitat workday, and Al was there doing carpentry.
I remember her climbing the scaffolding and doing cement work, stuccoing and things on houses on West Style Street.
We got married probably within about 1.5 years. We lived in Center City, Philadelphia, and I already had a home, but Al was renovating a home, so it was a labor of love. We'd wake up on a Saturday morning and I'd be buttering the banister with linseed oil, and we're like, well, if we can do this for ourselves, we can also do that for Habitat. So we would schedule in whenever there were work opportunities, we would schedule that in.
Helping other people out, and no matter who they are or where they came from, we're all God's children, and I think it's important to me and Leslie and to our family to make sure that continues to happen.
Later on, when we had kids, and when they were old enough, we would go to Habitat for our Martin Luther King volunteer days and really enjoy that.
When we go to a dedication, it's tough to capture the feeling of when the children would be going through the rooms and saying, this is my house, let me show you this room. And this is the first time they've had a place that is their own.
And their wonder of having their own place, the disbelief that they were allowed to have a room of their own.
I think it's something we totally take for granted. I think in a way, a house is almost an album of somebody's life. So it's those memories that of homes that make families families. You're not a family unless you you have a place to be together, and that's what a house and that's what a home becomes.
Well done, Al. I kind of love that for you and Leslie, it was love at first construction site. I couldn't help myself. And what a beautiful visual of home being like a curated album of a family's life. Al, thank you for your unwavering commitment to Habitat. You mentioned to me that you started making monthly contributions to Habitat back in the 80s. Do you know what we call our monthly donors now? Hope builders. Al, thank you for being Habitat's very first hope builder. And just look at what you started. We're getting closer, Habitat family. We have matched our match. Yes, it's working. $404,000. I'm backing up. Let me get it right. $808,000. Did I get that right? Pray God. Distance to our goal is 70,192. 70,000 to go. We are so close. I hope we can count on you. Throughout this week, we have shared just how home works to improve families' lives. A strong home is more. It is so much more than 4 walls and a roof overhead. A home is tied to better health outcomes, stronger academic performance, employment, even safety. Simply put, home is foundational, and home is a shared experience. There's Jaylyn, Princess of Habitat, and her hopes for her brighter future, her next goal, college. Rhonda and Roberto, and the safety net of their home, and what that has created for their young adult children to pursue their dreams. And Anthony, whose home is now home for other veterans. I think of the 127 Habitat homeowners like Charlene, who in the last 10 years have paid off their mortgages and own their homes free and clear. 127 homeowners. Charlene said what she cherishes most are the Christmases and graduations and block parties, those memories of family at home. I think of Mr. Doug, a veteran whose leaky roof we fixed a couple years ago. No longer worrying about strategically placing 5-gallon buckets to capture the rain inside his home, he now has peace of mind. By the way, Mr. Doug shows up big for his community. He was with us Monday in Harrisburg, advocating for fellow neighbors who need home repairs. He has spent decades mentoring youth, and for the last 20 years has probably had the most important role. He's played Santa Claus for kids in West Philadelphia. Each home works to build dreams. Each home works to improve health. Each home works to strengthen community. This is what we build and why we build. It's for a Philadelphia where Charlene and Doug and Jaylyn have a stronger foundation, a city that is better for all of us. And we'll get there because we are not doing it alone. We're building together. Just the next home, and then the next, and then the one after that. When Al and Leslie started volunteering in 1989, they were not thinking about how Habitat was going to get to its 1,000th home. They were thinking about the task at hand, and they did their part. Here's the thing. The Habitat family is large and growing, and we're grateful. And add all of us up, each of us doing our part, and there is nothing stopping us. That is why we will achieve the next 1,000 homes in the next 5 years. I'm going to say that again. We will achieve the next 1,000 homes in 5 years. Ain't no stopping us now. Habitat as we know it today was unimaginable in 1985. Just like we cannot wrap our heads around what Habitat Philadelphia will make possible 30 years from now. I do know one thing. I would not bet against the Habitat Philadelphia family. Every challenge faced, every construction delay, every hiccup, every global pandemic thrown at us, and we're stronger than ever. In a world that's constantly telling us that the sky is falling, we're here to say the sky is the limit. 37 years of this Habitat family constantly stepping up fuels our hope and has shown us that together we can do big, audacious things. My vision is that we say yes. Every single person who calls us and says, can you fix my roof? Can you fix my kitchen? I need an affordable place to live. I want to buy a home and build a brighter future. I want us to say yes. You know, when I sit and kind of pull back and think about it, you know, a staff of 7 to 70, a budget then of under $1 million to a budget of $10 million, going from 2 and 3 homes a year to 27 new homes in varying stages of construction right now.
Back in 2006, when I started, we were just a very small staff. We built just a handful of homes and sold them every year. We had this 1992 Ford F-150 with one of those big bench leather seats that you would slide all over. 2011, we created the home repair department. We're making homes safe, warm, and dry. We will sometimes go into houses and the back of the house is just falling off. You know, that can be an inflection point where they have to make a tough decision about if they can safely stay in that house or leave. And that's a big loss for that community. We want to make sure that we keep them in that community as long as they want to be there. We just crossed our threshold with 800 home repairs since we started, and we are aiming to double our production and our impact with the repair program.
We sell tools, we sell paint, we sell windows. Cabinets and paint are like our #1 things here for selling.
The Restore program that we have in place, last year we grossed over $1.5 million, and so that enabled a chunk of that cash, at least $500,000, to go into repairs. Restore is a critical aspect of us generating revenue to do more home repairs and more new home construction.
Word of mouth is how we grew. Word of mouth. To watch it grow from an infant up to now, we're like a teenager basically, preteen. It's a step-by-step process, just like how it is for building homes. Foundation is laid and then everything else comes on top of that.
It's going so well at our Washington Avenue location, we are going to open a second location this year.
It's like you get to watch something grow and be a part of the growth as well. Can't wait. I can't wait.
It took us 35 years to build and repair 1,000 homes in Philadelphia. In the next 5 years, we will build and repair 1,000 more homes.
We, in essence, want to put the idea of affordable housing and community stabilization at the forefront of the success. We've got to achieve the success. We can't just aspire to it.
Where we live is where we solve. It's where we solve for health. It's where we solve for education. It's where we solve for equity. Affordable housing is the way we are going to, as a city, thrive. Thanks to a generous donor, right now, we just received a $10,000 leadership gift. We're $39,014 to reach our goal. Let's do it. 1,000 homes in the next 5 years is a big, audacious goal. And we are determined to achieve this goal, not just aspire it because home works. We will achieve it. So we're doubling down on hope that the future can be brighter than today and that we have something to do with it. That's right. You and me, we have something to do with creating this brighter future. The good news about this audacious goal, we are not starting from scratch. We're building on a solid foundation of 37 years and 1,000 homes. Trust me, there has been plenty of learning, not always getting it right, learning how to do it differently, listening more, and continuing to fine-tune what we're good at, building opportunity. Couple that foundation with the pathways and the relationships we've built alongside elected officials, city leaders, future homeowners, block captains, advocates, donors, volunteers, partners, collaborators. That's momentum. That's a movement. So you take our foundation, let's add the movement, and then add our core value of stick-to-itiveness, and we are ready right now. We witnessed the stick-to-itiveness in families like Rhonda and Roberto, and the 8 families who started their road to homeownership just Saturday, just a couple of days ago. There's Emily Lucas's stick-to-itiveness. Then she listened to neighbors who were hopeful that Habitat could help with repairs on their homes, and she said, "We can do this. Let's try it." To now, where there are over 800 families safe, warm, and dry in their homes repaired by Habitat. That next goal of 1,000 homes is 100% within our reach. But here's the thing. Hope requires imagination. Imagine our city where all children go to school ready to learn because where they live does not make them sick. Imagine our city where the epidemic of gun violence that is destroying lives and families eases because we have invested in so many home repairs. By the way, a University of Pennsylvania studies that shows that one repair on one block reduces crime by 22%. Let's imagine that. 1,000 more homes alongside 1,000 more families. Woo! Y'all, here's another thing about hope. It multiplies. We believe the future is brighter than today, and we have something to do with it. One home, one family, one block, one neighborhood, one city. Me, you, we have something to do with it. And last but not least, hope requires us to be in relationship, to be in action. We cannot be on the sidelines. It's go time. There is no such thing as a gift too small. Every dollar multiplies. Hands on each other's backs. Better yet, let's have the backs of the next 1,000 Habitat families. We are ready now.